welcome to the Christian Media Marketing Show. My name is John, coming to you from the McGee Tyson Knoxville Airport and the offices of Kavanaugh Media. Thanks for spending some time with me. It is always my pleasure to be able to share with you all things we're learning, things we're seeing, being able to talk as I was just at a conference last week, I believe, being able to meet many of you and to share and to learn from you all about what's working in your digital engagement efforts. And it is always just a joy for me to be able to meet people that are out there like you who are trying to make Jesus famous, using every tool possible to be able to do that. And so, whether you're listening to the podcast or you're watching here on YouTube, thank you so much. All right, well, it's the end of the month. This weekend, I'm going to be flying one more international trip. We're going to be training several teams who are working within an organization on their digital engagement efforts. And we have new people coming on board. Amanda will be coming to us from East West, going to be coming on with Kavanaugh Media full time. She is an experienced veteran marketer. We're super thankful to have her coming on board and expanding our capabilities. Joel will be expanding his creative work that he is doing, and we're just really excited and to be honest with you, just a little bit nervous about next steps as we continue to move forward. We just want to stay in touch and stay in step with the Lord. And so, what we're seeing around the world is that God is at work. And he is not bound by one methodology, one organization, one team. He doesn't need me. He doesn't need Kavanaugh, but he does choose to allow us to partner with him in his spirit. And it's just a joy to be able to do that. We're seeing hundreds, actually more, honestly, thousands of private messages now coming in. And they're being responded to. They're moving to offline to face. Some of them are forming groups online. Like there's a lot of different things that are happening. And this sense of unity that I'm seeing, to see organizations and groups work together, is something that I'm so thankful for. And so we are just getting started. We have several more countries that we're going to be pushing into here in the next few months. And we're finding these partnerships and people willing to work together, not to lift their brand or their methodology, but to just lift up Jesus and to help each other, to put our hands together to the plow. And so I'm so grateful for that. So, in the midst of all of these things that of growth and of opportunities and new things that are coming, I'm going to be stepping away for a period of time. So, I've alluded to this already a little bit. If you listen weekly to the podcast, and if you do, thank you. But I'm going to be taking a what they call a founder's sabbatical. And I wanted to share today about why, because I think this is a learning process for us, but it's also going to be something that I hope that I can share with you all, from what I'm learning from going through this process. And so the the reasons behind this and some of the stuff behind it, to me, is something that I just want to share with you today. So let's talk about why I'm doing this founder's sabbatical. Why do that? Well, the very term itself, a sabbatical, comes from the word for Sabbath. And Sabbath is also something that's really important to the Lord. I mean, it's from Him. And so I understand that this is a privilege that I get to do this. Not everybody can take the extended period. For me, it's going to be a little over 2 months that I'm going to be, in essence, away. And I'm going to take my potentially a different phone number. I'm taking all the apps off. If I have to leave groups and then rejoin later, whatever I have to do to stop the dings and the notifications, I'm going to do that. And it's a little scary to me to be doing that. But why a sabbatical? Well, Kavanaugh's been in business. We've been doing this ministry now for 7 years. And it started right when I got my cancer diagnosis. For quite a bit of time, it was just me. There was no Kavanaugh. It was just John. And then the Lord has blessed us and allow us to grow. And I am an old basketball coach, coached at a small college. I've led in different types of environment and military and stuff. And one of the things to me then has to be is to be a student of leadership. What's it mean to be a good leader? And part of that, it means that you're always developing your team, not micromanaging them, not sending messages in the middle of the night and whatever else, but really building and trusting your team. And so for me, this founder sabbatical, this time away for the team, I think is going to improve decision making. So I'm so blessed by the group that I get to work with that removing me as the bottleneck, I think is going to improve decision making on our Kavanaugh team. So other people have the freedom and the permission and flexibility to step up and to really lead. And that to me is just one part of that. It's going to improve our decision making. It's going to increase, hopefully, our communication, and so this will allow others to be talking to each other. Not that everything runs through me right now, but for those of you who know me, you know that if something dings and it's 10 o'clock at night, I'm probably right there and I'm responding back. Well, not only is that not healthy, but sometimes I can jump into a conversation just because I'm quick doesn't mean that my answer is necessarily the right one or the one that needs to be heard. So I think it's going to increase clear communication with the team. It's going to deepen trust and confidence when with each other, with our whole small team of individuals. So Joel and Alan, Amanda, Sean, Casey, all everyone that's a part of this, Amy, all everyone, it allows each other on the team to trust each other that they're going to do what their role is and that they can be confident in them to be able to do that well. So it deepens trust and confidence when the person in leadership can step back. And yeah, sabbatical is one way to do that, but you don't have to just do it when a sabbatical happens. You can just do some of these things and continue to do them as a leader in your own teams or your organization. Another one is that it gives better clarity and perspective to the work. It helps the team see what things that it is that I do. It helps them to see maybe new areas as they know for a couple months they're going to pick up the slack from me and they're going to do some different things. I think it's going to give us clarity as a team at Kavanaugh. What is it that needs to be done? Because a lot of times there's a lot of smoke, but maybe not fire. There's a lot of work that happens that I've seen in ministry, but it isn't necessarily always fruitful work. And so just getting perspective will help the team and gives them clarity as well. And I think all of this will result in an increase in creativity by them and just innovation as well. As they continue to push forward, they're going to think of new solutions and new ways and just look at stuff from that different perspective will give them opportunities for creativity and for innovation. But beyond just even the team, there is a benefit, obviously, to me personally. And let me share some of those with you. What I'm hoping to be able to do in these next couple months is to do some deep dives, some deeper work, or as one person describes this, inner work. We do a lot of outer work. There's a lot of activities and works and calls and emails and all sorts of stuff. But sometimes it's that deeper work and that inner work that really, really matters. And so reflecting, spending time away from my electronics and the dinging and all of those things of Teams and Slack and Signal and Monday.com and everything else, WhatsApp and Telegram and all of those ones, and stepping away from them. And that's one of the things that I like about flying is that I'm not thinking about work when I'm up in an airplane flying around. I'm just trying to not die and enjoy the view from where I'm at. And so reflecting, journaling, when I have journaled, and I mean really gotten into spending time thinking deeply and journaling, the Lord has really impressed upon me deep truths that still impact me today. Kavanaugh is in existence because of a journal entry and really wrestling with some stuff. And so just spending time thinking and journaling and reflecting, doing that deeper work is a big part of what I'm going to be doing during this time. It's also just going for me going to help with mental health. I've tried to be very open about this, and I feel like that this is one of those things where sometimes it's a taboo. Or don't ever express weakness because people will take advantage of it or people won't follow. And I just maybe that's true, but not the people that I want to be working with. In fact, the reality is that when we can show scars, I think that increases our when we're transparent, it increases trust. And so showing those scars, being honest with the team, with each other helps us. And even when I was at the conference I was at last week, I had more than one person come up to me just saying, "Hey, thanks for talking about these subjects." And here's one reason why. Burnout. Over 68% of workers in 2020 reported feeling burnt out. When the pandemic started, I moved to almost 18 hours a day of work at times. And if I wasn't literally at my computer, I was there with my device that was on. And the workload when the whole world stopped and shut down and everything moved over to, hey, all we have is digital, our workload just went through the roof to the point when much of this was just me at that time doing it and running ads. I just remember the day where I had over 40 countries that I literally had to be making ads, and I'm doing Zoom calls and I'm sitting in meetings, and the net result of that, and that was in December, a couple years ago, was that I in essence forgot Christmas. I literally forgot it. Like just totally blew it. And I never want to be at that point again. I never want to be at that point where um, the work consumes. There's always going to be more work. But Jesus himself took time to get away and he prayed and he was the savior and we're not. So understanding that rhythm of that and of rest is really important. So both for mental and for physical health, I've got to get back into really hard exercise. My body responds well to that. I used to do Ironman races. It's just good. And instead, I've just my default is to work. And that's not healthy. In fact, it's sinful and wrong. So, my mental health, my physical health, I'm also going to spend this time to do some research. There is a purpose to sabbatical. It's not a vacation. And so I'm really doing some deep dives into cybersecurity issues and just changes in digital engagement. There are lots of things that are buzzwords and lots of things that people really think are cool until you start digging into it and you realize, well, wait a minute, we can't do this, or we have to do this, or this is a threat, or this is an opportunity. Well, research is a big part of that. And so there's a lot of reading and digging deeper and training that I'm trying to do. And that's why I'm excited. I have some tools, things that we're investing money and thought and effort into that I think is going to increase the cybersecurity for all mission teams out there. And I'm sharing with friends at Disciple Tools and with others about some of these tools and really trying to go deep with experts to figure out how can we leverage these things. And so research is going to be another big thing. And I hope that you'll benefit from that. I'll be sharing as much as I can on the podcast and the video show about some of these findings. I'm also hoping to do something just outreach wise. Maybe it's starting a new house church. I don't know yet what that's going to be. Some sort of outreach. I don't know if it's going to be. I used to be a pastor and a teacher, a professor. Maybe it means I share. I start trying to craft some of these things and share some thoughts spiritually. Um, excuse me. I don't know if it means we're going to try to get something going again because that's something that we as a family long for. When we moved to Tennessee from Kentucky, that's the thing I miss. Is in Kentucky we had a group, our neighbors all would walk from their houses to our house and we would meet each Sunday night. We would share a meal and we would just pray and dive into God's word together. And I miss that. It's not that I don't celebrate lives being changed from the big church that we're a part of, but there's something deeper and better out there. And I long for that, and I miss that. And so we're trying to figure that out. We really care deeply about the refugees in our community, and especially my wife is working very hard to help certain families in our community, taking people places, teaching them how to drive, helping them with their paperwork, just anything that we can do to help refugees. And so, but that's also mean sharing Jesus with them. So I'm not sure yet what this is going to mean, but it's something that I want to see us reach out locally and globally. That's that idea of global there as well. All right. And so these are just some of the reasons of why I'm trying to take a sabbatical. We will see how the Lord uses this time. We will see if I can let go, if I can really just turn things off and spend that time away from some of this. And I hope that a result of that will be a benefit to you as well. So for the next 2.5 months, the podcast and the video show is going to take it's going to take a pause. I may every once in a while record something. And so, keep that subscription there. Go ahead and click the subscribe button like you see right there on your screen if you're watching. And so that you can get these updates, but I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to do a ton of them. I don't know yet. It's an unknown. But I feel like even that is something I need to step back from and take a pause. And then the intention is to start back up in the 1st of September with our next episode. And I hope that I will have much to share that the Lord has taught me during that time. So until then, I would appreciate your prayers for myself, for our team. Know that we at Kavanaugh are still pushing forward. So nothing is stopping with the work. The team is still moving forward. If you need something, if you want to partner with us, reach out. Reach out to Casey or Sean, anybody, and we would be honored to help you in any way we can. And so, unless the Lord does something different or changes something, the plan is then, Lord willing, that we'll see you back here for the Christian Media Marketing Show, 1st of September. And until then, keep pressing forward. Don't stop doing what you do for God's glory. Keep pressing forward to make Jesus famous. Until the next time, take care and God bless.